For decades, hunting submarines from the air was an American art form. The P-3 Orion, then the P-8 Poseidon, defined what a maritime patrol aircraft should be: fast, high-flying, and networked into the world's most powerful alliance. But a new hunter has entered the game, and it doesn't play by the same rules. The Chinese Y-8Q, officially designated KQ-200, is not trying to outspend or outspeed the P-8. It's trying to make the underwater battle space so uncomfortable, so thoroughly saturated, that even the quietest Virginia-class submarine can no longer hide. Entering service in 2015 and now numbering 30-plus units with long-term plans reportedly targeting 100 to 200 aircraft, the Y-8Q has fundamentally altered the balance of power beneath the South China Sea.
The Y-8Q and the P-8 come from completely different design philosophies. The P-8 is a converted Boeing 737 jet built to sprint at 490 knots and cruise at 41,000 feet. It drops sonobuoys from high altitude, then dashes to the next datum point. The Y-8Q is a 4-engine turboprop based on the Y-9 transport, powered by WJ6 engines. According to open-source specifications, its maximum speed is approximately 320 knots, while its patrol speed can drop to around 210 knots, a profile ideal for low-altitude MAD sweeping. With a maximum takeoff weight of 61,000 kilograms and a crew of 5, it carries up to 20,000 kilograms of payload. Its endurance reaches 8 to 10 hours. The P-8 burns fuel to cover distance, with an unrefueled combat radius of about 1,200 nautical miles and 4 hours on station. The Y-8 burns little to stay put. One is a sprinter, the other is a marathon loiterer. In anti-submarine warfare, time over the datum often kills.
The sensor suites reflect these opposing philosophies. The Y-8Q carries a surface search radar with a reported range of 200 nautical miles, 370 kilometers, under the nose, a belly-mounted electro-optical turret with infrared and TV cameras, and its most iconic feature, a 7-meter magnetic anomaly detector boom extending from the tail. According to community database specifications, this third-generation MAD has a detection range of approximately 1.9 kilometers, meaning the aircraft must fly low and close, exactly the flight profile where turboprops excel. Additionally, the Y-8Q carries an advanced ESM suite capable of detecting and identifying radar emissions out to 926 kilometers, giving it a passive electronic surveillance capability that turns the aircraft into a powerful ELINT platform. The P-8A, by contrast, was built without any internal MAD at all, relying instead on its ANPY-10 radar and sonobuoys for detection. Open sources report the Y-8Q's ferry range between 5,000 and 6,000 kilometers, with some estimates reaching up to 7,000 kilometers. The P-8's oft-quoted 8,300-kilometer range is not found on Boeing's official specification sheet. Boeing prefers to state combat radius plus loiter time. In the shallow, island-dense South China Sea, the metric that wins is time on station. The Y-8Q's 8-hour low-speed orbit, burning fuel frugally through 4 turboprop engines, beats the P-8's high-speed dash because a submarine cannot outweight a persistent listener orbiting cheaply above a choke point. That 7-meter MAD boom is not a Cold War relic. It is the Y-8Q's deadliest answer to acoustic stealth. Virginia-class and Soryu-class submarines are wrapped in anechoic tiles and suspended on ultra-quiet pumps. They can fool sonobuoys, but they cannot hide the massive magnetic distortion of their steel hulls. The Y-8Q's Stinger detects that anomaly passively, cueing a kill chain without emitting a single ping. The P-8A was designed without this capability because its high-altitude flight profile made near-surface magnetic detection impractical. The United States did not bolt MAD back on fleet-wide. It chose an unmanned solution, the HAASW drone, to fill the gap. Different doctrine, not a mistake. But in the shallow South China Sea, where low-altitude loiter is the norm, the Y-8Q's magnetic stinger represents a sensor advantage the Poseidon simply cannot replicate organically.
The Y-8Q never hunts alone. In May 2017, commercial satellite imagery captured 4 Y-8Qs deployed to Ling Shui Air Base on Hainan Island, alongside 3 BZK-005 reconnaissance drones and 2 KJ-500 early warning aircraft. The concept is a kill web. Cue from above via satellite or early warning radar, confirm with a high-endurance drone, and then prosecute with the turboprop. Its MAD stinger active and sonobuoys raining in a precise pattern. The P-8 plugs into NATO's Link 16 global network, but inside the first island chain, the Y-8Q enjoys home field data fusion, linking directly to artificial island runways that serve as unsinkable aircraft carriers. The shift from theory to reality is already documented. Since 2017, Y-8Qs have conducted routine patrols in the Southern Theater Command, and by 2023, they were active across all 3 PLN fleets. Open-source tracking records regular intercepts of U.S. and Japanese submarines transiting the Bashi Channel and waters near Scarborough Shoal. The aircraft do not need to sink their quarry to win. They need only map transit routes, drop patterns of passive sonobuoys, and harvest acoustic signatures. Each encounter builds a database that makes the next patrol sharper, slowly closing the stealth gap through sheer methodical persistence.
Beyond torpedoes, the Y-8Q brings a weapon with no direct equivalent on the P-8, a guided aerial depth charge. Chinese state media footage from December 2020 showed the aircraft deploying a self-guided depth charge that accurately hit its intended target. According to community databases, this weapon is designated KAB-250-100PL, analogous to the Russian Zagon-1 S-3V guided depth charge. It is an unpowered munition steered by controllable tail fins as it descends through the water, guided by an active acoustic homing system. With an engagement range of approximately 0.9 kilometers underwater, it allows the Y-8Q to drop guided munitions in rapid succession, saturating a suspected submarine's position. The internal weapons bay can also carry both the U-7 lightweight torpedo and the newer U-11 torpedo, the latter entering service around 2019 and capable of engaging both surface and subsurface targets out to 14.1 kilometers. Together, these weapons provide a layered kill chain, depth charges to force the submarine to maneuver, and torpedoes to finish the job. To be clear, the P-8 remains unmatched in 3 domains. It can sprint 490 knots to a distant contact, a speed the turboprop Y-8Q cannot touch. Its global network of allies, Japan, Australia, India, NATO, provides a depth of shared acoustic intelligence no single nation can replicate. And its multi-mission payload means it can carry Harpoon and LRASM anti-ship missiles alongside its ASW load. However, readiness has been a real and documented issue. A 2021 Pentagon audit found P-8A mission capability rates fell from the mandated 80% to between 53 and 70% between October 2018 and March 2020 due to sustainment shortfalls. A fast jet that sits grounded is less valuable than a humble turboprop that flies every single day.
The numbers tell their own story. The U.S. Navy currently operates 124 P-8As, with a planned total fleet of 135.
including allied operators, Australia with 14, India with 12, and others. The global Poseidon fleet is formidable. But China's ambitions are larger in scale. Open-source intelligence reports indicate the People's Liberation Army plans to operate between 100 and 200 Y-8Qs across its fleet in the long term. Because the airframe is a modified tactical transport, unit costs are a fraction of a Boeing 737-based jet. In anti-submarine warfare, a game of probabilities played across 3.5 million square kilometers of ocean, quantity has a quality all its own. China does not need a better aircraft, it needs more aircraft, always airborne, always listening. In the end, this is not about which aircraft is better in a vacuum. The P-8 is unmatched for deep blue global operations, a sprinter built to cover the vast Pacific. The Y-8Q is purpose-built to turn the South China Sea into a transparent magnetic trap. With 8-hour endurance, a magnetic stinger the P-8 chose not to carry, a growing fleet of 30-plus units with ambitions for 100 to 200, and a networked kill chain anchored to artificial island bases, China has rewritten the rules without outspending America. The Y-8Q has not surpassed the Poseidon technologically, but it does not need to. It only needs to be there every single day, making the undersea sky too dangerous for even the most silent hunter to survive.